We're here at QuakeCon, and one of the games that isn't necessarily directly affiliated to Bethesda, but is here because it's quite a nice fit with the audience here, is Shadow Warrior 2. Tell us a little bit about why you brought the game here, apart from the obvious reason that I just said.
Well, apart from the obvious reasons of being a kind of hardcore first-person shooter, I mean, this is the audience. These are the people that are going to love Shadow Warrior. They knew the first game. They knew the original game back in the day. They knew the reboot that we made back in a few years ago, and they're the ones most excited for Shadow Warrior 2. And we don't have that many opportunities to bring it just to a show that's entirely for gamers, right? Most of the time it's kind of press, and you have Twitch and all these things going on, but this is pure FPS gamers. There's thousands of computers over there. They love the genre, so we wanted to bring both Strafe and then Shadow Warrior 2 here.
Okay, so you say FPS. It's not just the first-person shooter. There's first-person sword play going on here as well.
A little bit of a first-person slasher, we call it, too. That's what kind of we built Shadow Warrior around, is this idea of doing really good first-person melee combat. And Shadow Warrior 2 takes just the simple katana that we had in the first game and adds in a plethora of new razor-sharp weapons. And it's awesome. We really the team at Flying Wild Hog took it up a notch.
Okay, let's talk about the arsenal of weapons. We played the demo earlier.
Oh, great.
And there's some creative weapons in there. Yeah. Tell us about, what's your favorite out of the bunch?
I can't tell you my favorite yet because we're about to unveil that one. But it's...
Go on, tell us about that one.
No, it's related to, though, the chainsaw that you have in there. Because I think the chainsaw really illustrates what makes Shadow Warrior 2 so fun. Because you have the basic chainsaw movement, right? Like swiping with it, cut through enemies, that's cool. But if you hold down the right mouse button, you maintain control of that chainsaw. And you can kind of guide it through the body and twist and turn, which it shows the procedural gore elements. It shows all the ridiculous over the topness of Shadow Warrior 2. So I really love that one. And we're about to announce a new weapon that combines the katana and the chainsaw, if you get the idea.
Sounds gruesome. Okay, so tell us about some of those crazy-ass enemy designs that you've got in there, because my favorite part of that demo, by a country mile, was when there was a little cute bunny, and I shot the bunny, and it turned into a demonic bunny lord.
Yeah, that's the Flying Wild Hog took that from the original game. They had rabbits, and they would have relations together, and in the reboot that we did, they took it up a notch and said, okay, they're going to be having relations, and occasionally if you kill one, it goes berserker. Well, in this Shadow Warrior 2, as you guys will see soon, the berserk bunny is over the top huge and wild. There's 70-some enemies now. No, I'm sorry. It's 50-some enemies now, and they range all over from demons to Yakuza to you're going to see mech robots in a setting we haven't shown yet. And again, they've just ramped it up a notch. And it's what I love about it. My favorite part about it is they all have a million different pieces you can cut. So when you swing that sword, it's not just right through a line. It's depending on where you hit and the angle and the speed, it breaks different ways. It's this whole procedural cutting system. So when you see an enemy, it's not just fun to fight them. You're I wonder what I can knock off of them before they're actually dead. Can I get that arm, tentacle, whatever? And I don't know. It makes every encounter a lot of fun, and I really enjoy that part of the game.
Okay, let's talk about Wang. He's back.
Wang's back.
His usual chirpy self.
Yeah, he's... They did a great job. The writers, I love it. It's genuinely funny humor, I think. And this time, I think people were surprised in Shadow Warrior 1. It was a fun game for sure. They didn't take itself seriously. But it had a pretty emotional ending if you played it, if you guys played it to the end. And I think this takes, again, does more with that. But there's some really funny lines and funny situations in the game that I'm pretty proud of the writers and what they were able to accomplish.
Okay, and there's some inner monologue going on as well with the secondary character, chief character almost, who's with Wang in his conscious
mind. Yeah. So not only do you have Lo Wang, the humor of Lo Wang, but you have the humor of his cohort with them now in his head. But the funny thing is, you as Lo Wang are the only one that can hear her, right? So it's this MST3K kind of comedy where he's talking to somebody, something's going on, and she's just giving commentary that only Lo Wang can hear, and he responds to her out loud, and it just makes for some really funny moments in the game. So I love that that's the interplay that they have this time, rather than an actual person in the world,
So the game's coming out this year, is that correct?
It's coming out next month, I'll tell you that. It's coming out next month. We haven't said the date yet, but it's going to come out next month.
Okay, and it's coming out PC and PlayStation 4?
Yeah, PC first. PC is the first platform, then it's coming out to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One after that.
And Xbox One. Awesome. Okay. And is there anything else you want to tell us about the game before we leave you in peace?
There's a million things I want to tell you about the game. Do you have time? I mean, like an hour? What are we talking here? What do you need?
Give me the highlights.
The highlights, I don't know. Just Shadow Warrior 2, it's a lot of fun. It's got 4-player co-op, which we're not showing here. But it's 4-player online co-op. And it's just a wild, fun time. We're not trying, nothing's too serious about it. It's just really good, fun time to play and chop up enemies in a million different ways.
Well, we're looking forward to do just that sometime next month.
Absolutely.
All right, cheers.
Thank you.